optimistic in this one because a lot of teams are starting off to some shaky starts. A lot of questionable. I mean, a lot of teams that we see win playoff games got 0 wins. Some of them just got 1 win. Some of them, on the plane talking to their cornerback saying, hey, get off live, man. Get off live. But we're going to find out which team is going to be on. I think Amazon used to do this too. It's basically all or nothing. And it's one of those things we got to figure out which team with a 1-2 record is the most desperate for a win this week. And Joe, I think it's pretty easy, but I want to hear what you got to say about this one.
It's crazy. I picked a team, got wrote notes and all that stuff. Then I got to the end. I'm like, I went to the schedule. I'm like, what? Why am I tripping? like this is after we put the questions. Like I was preparing for the topic, and I had all these notes ready. Moved on to the next topics. I write your notes, and then I revisiting my notes, looking. I'm like, hold up. I look at the schedule. Like, hold up. It's the Cowboys. It's definitely the Cowboys. Like it's the Cowboys for sure, and for a lot of reasons, Tomo. First of all, they signed a $34 million wide receiver this year. After the offseason, they signed a guy who made him the highest paid player in NFL history after the offseason, right? And this is why they're the highest paid, because they got signed after the offseason, right? They aren't dealing with major injuries. I know they're missing DeRon Bland, but they got their core guys, right? You look at people like the 49ers who are 1-2, they missing some of their key guys, so you can get why they're 1-2, right? And then also, they don't have a significant win because I wanted to go with the Falcons, but the Falcons beat the Eagles. Y'all beat the Browns, and look how the Browns look ever since y'all beat them. They haven't really looked the same.
That's normally what happened to teams, though.
So we're gonna see what happens to the Giants tonight, but so that's that, right? And their 2 losses were embarrassing. Like they got embarrassed by the Saints. Yeah, they came back on the Ravens, but they were down 20-6. Like that. Like the Ravens to the floor with the gas, so that was that. They play the Giants, who are in last place in our division, and y'all own the Giants. Daniel Jones only have 1 win on prime time, which was against us. 1 win on prime time, but Dak Prescott owns them. Dak Prescott has lost to the Giants since 2016. And lastly, this would be a huge confidence booster, not just for y'all, but for y'all fans. Like for the whole organization, y'all need another win like I had with the Browns to rewrite the ship. So I think it's the Cowboys by far.
Now, Joe, I did the opposite. You did all the notes and you thought about it. I literally just wrote down one team. I just said Cowboys. I just looked at the question, said 1-2, who's desperate? Cowboys. It's simply because no one else team that's 1-2 is getting the media coverage that we always receive, whether we win or lose. So that right there is one reason why they're desperate for the win. I mean, the money behind the quarterback is another reason why they need to win. The money behind the wide receiver is a great reason why they need to win. Another reason why they need to win is because the fans in Dallas are starting to get fed up. I wish I would have had the actual meme so I could post it. There was a guy standing in the middle of the fort where they practice at down there in Dallas saying, you need to fire the GM, Jerry, with a sign. Literally just standing there by itself. They probably closed the gates because of that. So now the fans are starting to ask Jerry to say, hey, man, it's time for you to go because you said you was going to go all in. Like, we understand your practices behind why you wanted to hold out and probably not pay CeeDee Lamb early or pay him when you wanted to. We understand why you waited till the first game to probably play Dak Prescott. We understand the 1-year contract with Mike McCarthy. We understand that some of these players that's on the roster, you sitting there saying like, no, you all need to prove it. We understand that. But the one side of the ball that you're saying needs to prove it is the offense. The defense has always been there for you outside of a few of those playoff games, but the defense has been your main calling card. Mm-hmm. Like Dan Quinn. I mean, no one can say that he's a scapegoat for the reason why we can't stop the run. We couldn't stop the run before Dan Quinn. We couldn't stop the run before Nolan. Nolan got there. Ooh, we couldn't stop the run when we had what's my man, Rob Marinelli. So you just couldn't stop the run. So there's not a defensive coordinator that any fan or Cowboy could try to use as a quote unquote scapegoat in this scenario. Because at the end of the day, the person that puts the players on the field and when your personnel says they need them is you, Jerry. Now, one side of the football that you could have went all in for is the defensive side. It's like, look, you know that your boy Zim is coming over here, right? And when Zim came over here, you already knew what type of defense that Zim was running. But there's another thing that you also should have put in your mindset too. And Rex, I mean, shout out to Rex. He on ESPN going off. He just spilling. He doing a tell-all right now. He like, look, your man was 29th ranked before he got fired, and he was calling his players out. But yet you wanted to bring him back and say he was going to shift the culture. Okay, he shifted the coach. All right, this looking like that 2020 season where we had Nolan in here calling all them plays, and all the players was like, the defense is too complicated. I'm thinking too much. And I don't know if I need to go left or right. But when I go right, the whole team go left. So again, they need to win this game because the chatter is already there. And it's just like them, it's just like, I don't know. You probably don't watch a lot of scary movies, but you are aware of scary movies when they hear the voices in their head. And the voices is getting louder. You lose to the Giants, it's going to be a shout. And I don't think you're going to be able to wake up. So it's the Cowboys.
I haven't watched a scary movie in like 8 years, but growing up, I love scary movies, so I've seen a whole bunch of them. But yeah, man, Rex Ryan, he sounded off on y'all. He sounded off. But the Falcons were a second. They were second in my opinion because they are 1-2. They signed Kirk Cousins, $180 million guy, off of Achilles injury. They got all the pieces. They not injured, for real. They got all their main guys, and they play a divisional opponent at home. And the divisional opponent they play are the Saints, who are 2-1, so they can take them down. So they were a close second to me, but then I was like, hold up, the Cowboys, like, they didn't need this because at least the Falcons beat the Eagles. That's like, okay, we can hang with these big dogs, type of win. Overcame the Kirk Cousins thing and losing in Philly. So, but the Cowboys beating the Browns and the offense still look like CD don't look CD don't look right, man. CD don't look right. So
you hold out.
And I do want to say this real quick. I was watching Speak yesterday, and that dude Keyshawn trying hard to get Michael Thomas a job. I just want to say that, right? I just wanted to say that.
That's his boy. That's his folks, right?
His nephew. Yeah. I think Dallas could use him, and Michael was like, he's kind of like another CD. I don't think we need that. He trying to say it nicely, like, I don't think we need him. But I get what you're saying. I just want to say that real quick. But go ahead.
Not that I ain't mad at it. I mean,
he always hurt, man.
But in this offense, at this point, anybody can help. I mean, because they acting like they can't get the ball to Brandon Cooks. They acting like Jalen Tolbert is the deep threat that Brandon Cooks used to be. It's just a lot of things going on with this offense that they got a lot of questions about. Tolbert had a couple of plays that could have been made. Either he didn't catch it or Dak couldn't connect with him and against the Ravens. I'm gonna say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
again, when your offensive line is looking the way it was, and them purple people eaters was right in your face every time, it can get ugly out there. My second team, I'm glad you brought up health though, because that's another reason why it's like I don't think they're desperate as far as health wise if they lose, but they are desperate as far as standard wise. The 49ers,
the Patriots,
yeah, they're going up against the Patriots. They need this win. And for Brandon Ayuk, we talking about wide receivers getting paid. He did the most out of all the wide receivers outside of what Chase is doing, but technically Chase still went and playing games. And he's still like, when he wants to play, they can win. Brandon Ayuk, you just let Juwan Jennings get 4 catches for like 100 and something, like you won on the field. So there's a little desperation there as well. And they got a quarterback that's looking to be like, that got 60. I took y'all to the Super Bowl, which I mean, I know we got everything else, but I took y'all to the Super Bowl. Can I get 61? 60.5? Like, so that was my second team.
Yeah, 49ers definitely. I'm with you on that because I think mostly because of the opponent they play, though. If they lose to the Patriots, Tomo, it's going to be like, whoa.
We in the same boat. We would be in the same boat.
Yeah, y'all lose to the oh, my gosh. Y'all lose to the Giants, Tomo.
Yeah, they got the stats. He got them memorized.
And they already have a division loss. So
that's what I'm saying. We would literally be in the same boat. We got a division loss. You just lost to another opponent that you should be superior for. Outside of this, though, they at home, so they should get this one.
So that's
so
that'd be bad, bro. That would be bad.
Dave, how we get here, bro? How did we get here?
I know, right? And how did we? Like tables that turn. What Carl always say? Ain't no fun when the rapper got the gun.
Let me pick the camera, turn it. Tables have definitely turned, and y'all are having fun with it. Ooh. Now,
he making sure. Like, hold up, Tomo. We have injuries.
No, I said outside of health.
Yeah, you did say that.
I understand that.
He was like, hold up, cuz.
Oh, I see what Dave's saying. He's like, we was healthy, we wouldn't be here. I got you. I get where you coming from. CMC on